I don't know what to feel. It could be potentially the Benedetta for some weird, I don't know. There's a period of time when Benedetta was first released, right? We're trying to really learn and study where Benedetta should go.
Turns out she can go everywhere.
Yeah, turns out he can go everywhere, as proven in M2, right? But this time round, probably in the mid lane.
It's hard to say. I think you still leave Benedetta in the jungle here.
Yeah, the jungle, basically. Yep. Well,
early skirmish coming in. Yeah, reminiscent with the retribution is going to be the jungler here on the Benedetta. Looks like you put the Sicilian in the mid lane here.
Yes. Well, with the Sicilian in the mid lane, you'll be able to wave clear quite well with the back impact, right? And also, that's where the minions will come faster so that you get more stacks as much as possible. Miku would probably have to look to actually get as much stacks as possible, but at bottom side, it is a Zaz going up against a Paquito, right?
He's setting up stuff already. It's like, okay, if you want to walk in, I'm going to punish you.
Yeah, and of course, early level 2 very quickly, I would say, but at the top side, it's going to be a wet noodle battle at the top side. We're never going to basically talk about that until something happened, right?
If someone dies there, it's because of a misplay. It's what I say when it comes to wet noodle fights. There's no mechanics involved because of how little damage they do and how much you have to actively engage that fight. It's not like Uranus is going to suddenly kill you. You have to choose to fight him. And if you know it's going to be a wet noodle fight, when your health is low enough, you just back off.
Yeah, and a bit of a... Okay, Kingsman is actually just gonna disengage, right? You can see a bit of pressure coming in from the bottom side. We can see the Azura X as well as the side of A1, A2 is just kind of like pressuring, but Sanguine Claw's gonna miss, but Reminiscent committing with the ultimate as well. Nice burst damage as well as Reminiscent picks up first blood.
Oh man, they didn't respect the Benedetta. She has such good early power, especially hitting level 4, right? So the Electro Final Blow allows her to just close the gap onto the Chunga. And she's so immobile as well, like she doesn't have Flicker, that's a big problem.
Yeah, and at the same time, Paquito looking very low at the bottom side, whereas Rum decides to cut that way, but Kingsman is already on the way to treat him. Oh dear, Bambi coming in with full Rhapsody, jumps into Azura X as well. There's Sonata coming in, missing too. And he's also missing the ultimate as well. Rum looking very low, but Azura X will be able to secure that deal. Kingsman picking up one and as a revenge.
They need level 4 in Chang'e and the Raffaella, right? So this turtle fight is actually a bit dicey because Reminiscent has the Electro Final Blow, right? It's actually going to use it right now to get the damage onto the turtle and steal it away. Like I said, you gotta respect the early damage of the Benedetta.
Yeah, and damage early Benedetta jumping in as well because of the mobility. Jumps in, Retribution jumps out. That's the power of Impunity SG. Kingsman, I think, bite off a little bit more than he can shoot, right? Fighting that turtle super early on without level 4 Chang'e.
Takeaway coming down to the bottom side, looking to put pressure. He's level 4, has the Way of the Dragon, so does his lane opponent. Right now it's still on cooldown, so Loon doesn't have the knockout punch just yet.
Yeah, Azura X, okay, will be trying to, but Chang'e will be using the Meteor Shower to wave clear off because there's not much, prior objective to do, but we gotta talk about Reminiscent right now. She's a Benedetta, he's on a roll right here. Aso using the ultimate, that's exactly not a very good way. Look at the mobility coming out of Benedetta as the Miku will be able to secure that deal. However, Odie Bambi jumping on top of Reminiscent, taking him down.
Him off with the Rhapsody. Actually still has the Death Sonata, so elected to keep that available still for the next fight. Remember, it's less than a minute until the next turtle, so what the play is going to be right now for Kingsman is just to push out the waves and get a bit more control of the jungle. You can see, unbeknownst to them, that the bottom buff has spawned for Impunity, so they could move in and steal that and play bottom side and punish Sorin.
Let's take a look at the instant replay once again. Reminiscent finds Aso actually forced to use the ultimate jump over that wall, but Reminiscent is a Benedetta. He has so much sticking power as well. But at the same time, a bit of a fight happening at the bottom side. Kingsman is on full retreat. Lun coming in a little bit too late. That's the power of Zaz. Just set out the zone of control. But at the same time, Lun looking for more. Will be able to burst down a bit of a damage on top of takeaway, but unable to secure that.
Iku has already picked up the Clock of Destiny, so things going from bad to worse for Kingsman here, even though the goal is even, like we said, the late game is necessarily scaling, right? So Impunity SG, they wanted to go late, they just need to stabilize. And again, the agency is on Kingsman to make plays happen. They need to force something. The moment it gets to the late game, like Impunity are okay waiting.
Yeah, because you got already a Reminiscent who's actually snowballing right here, as Reminiscent will be starting the second turtle of that game. Azura X won't be able to find, but the Impunity SG is just focusing down this turtle way too quickly. No prior over to Kingsman though.
He gets grabbed back in. A1, A2 actually using the meteor shower for zoning purposes. Yeah, we'll just call it zoning, right? We didn't see that zoning. I think that was a misplay. I think that giving up the turtle without contesting and not doing anything else on the map is a bit of a misplay from Kingsmen.
Yeah, but that's the problem. But okay, takeaway will be able to find Azura X. We'll get Chong down. Loon comes on in as well. Azura X retreats. But it's Claws pull him right on back as Miku on the chase. But Loon coming in. We're looking for Miku, but takeaway just really bouncing around. Zax puts down, but such a very difficult position for Kingsman to jump on top as Reminiscent goes for the dive. Loon brings the fight sideways. Miku activates the ultimate as well as takeaway come in for the support. Now King Impunity just walking out the mid lane turret. They take the mid lane turret. So ASO is like, okay, you take out my mid lane turret. I'm not gonna let you get out without a fight. Odia Bambi jumping in, but Impunity SG, they get away with that fight.
Bambi needs a bit more farm to become relevant. Meanwhile, Impunity, they're still holding strong, right? Their zone control disaster as well as the current power of Reminiscent is enough to push all aggressive action from Kingsmen away. They deflect it so well. So Kingsmen, they need to wait for Bambi right now. And A1, A2, this guy needs to stop getting caught out, man.
Yeah, and it just boils down to the fact that what can Kingsmen do? They can only pressure the top side. We noticed that the top side actually went down first because one doesn't simply turret dive from his ask, right? There's a lot of wise people quotes, but okay, takeaway finds Loon as well. We'll be able to kick Loon right on back, right into the loving hands of Soren. Soren pops that ultimate. In Loon, whoa, that was a really good play, you know, the fact that, but doesn't matter as Reminiscent will be able to jump on top. So whatever good play, good mechanics you have there, you won't be able to do anything. A1, A2, that zoning meteor shower.
Again.
Once again, not hitting it smart. Takeaway looking for more, but unable to do anything else.
Azura X still trying to put up the best defense possible as ASO and Bambi are tag teaming up. They want to cut this one off. ASO does not have his ultimate, so he can't jump in. Has to respect the positioning from Miku here at backing off the turtle already. Started down to 10k Kingsmen. They're undecisive. They need to pull the trigger. They need to decide soon. It looks like the call has been made to take the turtle away. Kingsmen now they need to secure this and be very careful about the fight after. The turtle will go the way of Kingsmen.
Yeah, I feel like that turtle should have been in the favor of Impunity SG, but I feel like there's a bit of a hesitation coming in. Because like Impunity SG, they have the Uranus cutting away on the top side, right? So as well as Kingsman dances around, it actually goes in the favor of Impunity SG.
The same response is Loon is just holding the wave. Like as Paquito, he's completely fine responding to whatever waves are being cut. The problem here is when you cut waves, right? If Kingsman now need to send multiple members because he's just gonna stay there cutting the waves non-stop.
Oh, there you go. Kingsman jumping in on top of Soren instead. The ultimate of Disaster will be popped. Take away is just dishing out. But you gotta take a look at your Uranus as well. No respect, but okay, ASO coming on in. Take away tries to find the claw, catches Azura X. Reminiscent coming from the flank. Azura X forced to run away. The disengage from Kingsman is called, but ASO still chasing on top of Reminiscent as well. But very good team fight actually coming in favor of Kingsman.
And now his ult is up, so Esmeralda could look to re-engage on the bot side. Overextended, though takeaway might be dead here. He's still trying to kite away. The mobility of the Cho is just frustrating enough for him to get out.
Yeah, and Miku forced to use the flicker as well. And just in case if anything happens, there's the loving ultimate coming out from Soren as well. Soren already ahead in terms of the items, building up the clock and Destiny as well, Feather Heavens. He's pretty good as well, whereas it's not Reminiscent struggling, but here we go again. Ultimate will be casted by Reminiscent. Odia might be looking very low, will get assassinated right all the way. Rum, he's throwing so much skill. Takeaway kick the side of Loon of giving Reminiscent that double kill. ASO coming in for the fight too late.
I think right now they could just dive ASO if they want to, and there's no real reason for Kingsman to be that far up on the top side, right? I think overextending again. You have to pin this down to two things. One is the fact that A1, A2's Chang'e has been less than stellar, not really performing up to expectations. And the second thing being like Kingsmen, their execution when it comes to these fights.
This time around.
Yeah.
Yeah, ASO will be there once again. I feel like this is a bit of a deja vu, but I mean, ASO with the Esmeralda won't be able to have the same attack damage as the Bowman. But again, Impunity SG, they have the late game scaling, they have the Sicilian, they have And then Zarsk as well, who is able to jump into the ultimate to just protect, and you have Rum with the Uranus. It's going to be a late game monster. Right now, Reminiscent is slowly falling off in terms of the relevancy, but let's take a look at this replay.
Yeah, so Iso here and Azura X, they're just slightly overextended. They're slightly behind their tier 1s, but the overextended ones here are Bambi as well as Loon. Like, what are you doing there? Your teammates are already fallen back to tier 1. Being that far up is just a suicide cause.
Yeah, and I feel like Impunity SG just desperately trying to end the game. You can tell right in the eyes of Kingsmen, right? Because Impunity SG, they got this late game scaling monsters. They try to end this game. Zarsk is pretty much ungankable at the bottom side. You can see the bottom side with Pikito is having a lot of trouble pushing down that turret, whereas the top side is open. But, you know, Impunity SG, they have the mid lane open for side of Kingsmen, right? Look at that. It's clean.
Reminiscent now 5-1 and 2 with this Fed Benedetta. He needs to be leading the charge for his team together with Rum.
Yep, okay, Meteor Shower will be used to wave clear away. That's gonna be okay for Kingsmen. We'll be able to zone Impunity SG out, but there's not enough minions for them to ride upon.
They want to take down the bot tier 1. It's been like 10 minutes and this is still standing, right? And Rum, he might just get caught by Loon here. They're going for the Zark, but the damage coming in. It's Odir Bambi that gets the kill, and now they can focus on the structure if they want to, or they can go for the redive onto Rum. But instead, they make the call. We're moving upwards. We're going to get mid-prior, we want to get lowered.
Yeah, at the same time, the A1, A2 will be raining all the love over on top of Takeaway, but at the same time, Miku will get caught off. That's a very awkward Sicilian to be able to actually contribute to that fight, because if you want to actually counter Sicilian, all you have to do is just bum rush right into the face, and there's nothing that he can do.
Now they're getting zoned away. They have two members that are respawning. Reminiscent very low too. Has to respect the fact that Kingsmen are all here. They will be able to take the Lord, and just a quick innovative play. Like, they're playing very creatively.
Yeah.
Making the move to bot side, killing off the Zaz first, and then making the rotation up, knowing they had the man advantage. And then picking up takeaway is just the cherry on top of the sundae.
As Reminiscent tried to focus down on that turret as well, but I mean, that's a Benedetta. It's very slippery, very hard to catch. But the same could be said for the side of Impunity SG as well. They have a troll that's really hard to engage upon. And the same could be also said over top of Soren. Kingsman picking up Soren at the bottom side is really good, because the amount of damage that Soren can bring on top of the table and the amount of like outplays they can do with a Zarsk is just way too much. Once again, A1, A2 using the Meteor Shower to clean off the mid lane wave.
Tier 1's gonna go down after the Meteor Shower finishes, and they will play the wave like you said. Bot tier 2 goes down too, so now they get a lot of ground on the map. Oh, MB setting up the Death Sonata, not enough to finish off that pesky Uranus, who did pop the Consecrate, I believe, to stay alive.
Yeah, but here comes Impunity SG's Draft's problem. They don't really have much constant DPS, except for maybe in Soren, but there you go, Sanguine Claws missed. That's also A-okay, because Kingsman, they open up the mid lane already. Now Kingsman gonna focus on the top side instead, but it's very hard to siege. Soren and Miku does have a lot of wave clear, but Loon's looking super low. Impunity SG gives up that chase.
They tried to go into Loon, but similar to Cho, Paquito is slippery as all heck. We'll be able to back off. Now, Lord, like you said, was used to great effect. They managed to open up majority of the base, if not at least a decent amount, right? They get a mid inhibitor, and bot and top are still very low.
Yeah, and it also goes into the fact that Kingsman actually, because they took down a lot of turrets at the same time, it gives them that boom in terms of economy to get necessary items for them. You know, this Odir Bambi actually built in quite a bit more.
A lot of defensive stats, right? Yeah, I was about to say, finally he actually gets the Malefic Cannon, so that adds additional damage on top of his tanky stats, but boy did this guy really come in hard for protecting himself.
Ooh, okay, this might be the fight, and Kingsman is actually looking for. Meteor Shower hits most of the target with the Soren's ultimate, but at the same time, Kingsman tiptoes in. They're gonna get out, because it's not very good fighting in the choke point, right, for the side of Kingsman.
Esmeralda still has ultimate. They could jump in onto Rum. He's gonna have to flicker out, and now they're moving on to Reminiscent, the Benedetta, the Ifrits. Will it be enough though? Multiple members of Kingsmen are still chasing down the top tier 1. Azura X gets taken low. They back off. Now bot is the focus for Loot. A1, A2 is gonna join in. they could finish this structure off. Just split up into 2 lanes if they wanted to, but instead they go for the kill here. Look at the knockout punch!
Look.
And the damage onto Rum, and the Death Sonata as well. Oh, man.
Oh man, Impunity SG is really hard for them to see. It's really hard for Kingsmen to actually siege on top of Impunity SG, but Kingsmen, they made that work. They caught out Reminiscent, who is actually out of position, and they went on ham. Now Kingsmen, don't forget, they're end deficient in terms of the kills. They had very wonky. Their baby gets caught out. Loon jumping on top, but looking very low. Aso following suit as well as Loon get executed by the side as Soren will be coming chase using the ultimate. But then again, will be able to push Kingsmen out. Kingsmen, they're playing pure macro. They're not even gonna try to find Impunity SG anymore, as the side of Impunity SG's base is super clean already.
Yeah, all inhibitors are down. They're waiting for Loon to respond because guess what? In 30 seconds, Lord is going to be up and that is going to be powered and that is going to help them win the game. So no real reason to take unnecessary risk if they don't need to. That being said, also, Impunity SG are making the moves over. They still need to defend their base. They need to shove it up.
Yeah, but I believe Impunity SG, they do have the wave clear from Miku as well as the Zaz. And don't forget, the Benedetta does have decent wave clear as well. So, well, A1, A2 bursting that meteor shower once again, just tried and will be able to secure the blue buff as well. But I mean, at this point in time, I feel like that meteor shower is on very super low cooldown.
Yep, it's slow enough for him to just expand it to steal objectives away. Kingsmen, they don't want the Lord, they're actually pushing onto the boss side, and Esmeralda comes out, they're chasing in.
Oh, the Sanguine Claws actually can manage to kill Aso, but the Kingsman is just giving them a very wide berth as Aso just runs Impunity SG down. A1, A2, here we go, the meteor shower coming in, but then Soren will be able to use the ultimate just to, you know, provide that meat shield for Kingsman. That's a very creative use, but Aso looking very low. Uranus at the top side, pushing, doing a split push. Unfortunately, Kingsman, now they're on borrowed time. Loon gets cut out, but they forget that there's a Uranus at side. They will have to send out Aso to the top side, as Kingsmen probably have to look for that Lord push.
That was the smart macro play, but the Lord is going to be taken here because they forced them away. The base was getting pushed in, and this should be a free Lord now. Taking the fight here, take away against Loon Ipman 4, possibly becoming Ipman 5 now as they have to chase on in. The Lord has been stealed. Reminiscent, he might just die here. The Death Sonata has been activated by Odia Bambi, but the iframes and the dashes and the eye for an eye gets him out.
Yeah, Uranus at the top side, Rum forced to back away. This is all or nothing. Impunity SG has to defend from the onslaught of the Lord, which is definitely going to be coming in the mid lane, I believe. But for the side of Kingsmen, they just have to wait the Lord. They really need to sync up the lanes right now, right?
With all the structures down, with the crystal only left, the Lord is going to be running down mid, and this is Luminous too, so you have to respect the damage now. Impunity, you can see they're setting up this like barrier of defense, like almost a bunch of obstacles for the Lord to walk through.
Yeah, and Impunity SG, they're gonna force it down. Both sides, a 1-3-1 push. Kingsman, the Lord is on the side. Meteor Shower goes, will start that fight. Dead Sonata as run, disappears. Aso coming in for the flank as well. Takeaway will be going down next. But the shield coming out, but Soren picks out Azurax, but that won't be necessary as that Lord will focus on the core for the side of Kingsman, and there goes game number 2.
It was a bit touch and go early on, and that's the thing with cheese, right?
Yep.
We talk about this during the break. The idea of cheese is